Hey Taurus sisters, happy prep day. You want to do a little prep with me today? Every Friday we all have lots of routines, but I do two things on Fridays: post office, and then I stock the little pantry at the food bank I run. So I'm going to pause the video and I'll take you to the food bank with me. All right, that's the little pantry that we're going to stock. It's right outside the Perry Food Bank. This is the food bank I run. I have a little sign here. I'll tell you about that in a second. There's some stuff in here. Actually, there's a lot of stuff in here. This is how it normally looks, but because it's prep day, we're going to stuff it full. I'll take you inside. Hold on. All right, it's a lot easier to talk inside where I don't feel like people are watching me. So that's the little pantry outside. And people from the community come and put stuff in there, but on Fridays, I take it upon myself to make sure it's really, really full. I told you about this last year a little bit, and a lot of people had questions about in the wintertime, what kinds of stuff can you put in an outside food pantry? So that's what this video is for today, is to show you that kind of stuff. Hold on. First, I'll tell you why that's important to me to stuff it really full on Fridays. We're not open on the weekends. I don't think I need to do this kind of work on Sabbath. We do it all week long. And if people are busy then, they can send someone else here to get their orders. We make appointments and we give people a lot of groceries. But we don't do that on Saturdays and Sundays. The volunteers need a break. None of us get paid. So on Fridays, I do want to make sure that people have food for the weekend if they need a quick bite. You know, sometimes sudden things happen. And so I come here every Friday. This is part of my routine. And usually I bring one of my teenagers. They help me with it. I will return phone calls and make those appointments. And they will get all the stuff out there and stuff the pantry really, really full on Fridays. So you and I are going to do that. I'm going to, well, here, I'll give you a little quick tour. Lots of toilet paper, some toiletries. And remember, this is the food bank where I run this food bank, and most of this food I purchase, and I don't buy pork products or shellfish, and it just goes on and on and on. And you can tell it kind of looks like a store. Most of this stuff I purchase with food bank money. Our community donates a lot of money to this food bank. There's lots of bread in there from a local shop. And even in the fridge, they get a gallon of milk, eggs, turkey, beef, sausage down there, stuff like that. So this community I live in serves 3 little small towns, and they donate all this money for us to purchase all this food. And it's just a really wonderful community. And as you can see, we have a really full food bank. So last time some of you asked, like, how can I donate to your food bank? And honestly, the food bank does not need money. And so I appreciate that. But the local towns here are supporting this local food bank. So if you want to support a food bank, donate to your local food bank. Now, if you want to help me to be able to keep on doing this work, which is, some of you expressed that, to go subscribe to the magazine, because I don't get paid to do this. And so it's taking more and more time because, as you know, food banks are getting busier and busier, sadly. So for me to keep having time to do this, I just need to keep making an income. So if you want to support me so that I can volunteer here and run this thing, go subscribe to the magazine. You can just donate to Taurus Sisters, but I'd rather sell you something. So go subscribe to the magazine. All right, I'm going to fill part of this table with winter items for the food bank, or for the little pantry outside. So hold on, let me fill that up and then I'll show you what I gathered. Okay, so the point is, in the winter, I don't want to put stuff in the little pantry outside that is going to freeze. Sometimes here in Michigan, it gets warm during the day, but at night, almost every night in the winter, it freezes. So I don't want things to explode or make a mess or become unsafe, things like that. So I looked online, lots of resources. They recommend that in the winter, you only put, basically the rule of thumb is dry food into an outside little pantry. That way it's not going to freeze and expand because it's dry, it's not wet. So in the summertime, spring, fall, I love to have the option of wet food because that's where most of the protein is. That's when we'll put cans of tuna, cans of chicken, cans of beans, cans of chili, chicken noodle soup. All of those things are wet. And even peanut butter is wet because of the oil in it. So they don't recommend putting peanut butter in that. I think the texture changes a good bit. And I know some of you will disagree, but I just have a rule of thumb here from what I see most other big food banks. They say don't put anything wet into an outdoor pantry in the winter. So we're in the dry season for the pantry, which is a bummer because there's very little protein in that case. I'll show you a couple ideas. If you have more ideas for protein that is dry and maybe not too expensive, please leave comments below. And then also leave a comment, do you have a little pantry that you stock on Fridays? This is something really wonderful to do with your kids. When you do your weekly grocery shopping, grab an extra bag of food and find a little pantry near you and stuff it full, or at least, add to it every Friday. That's something that us Sabbath keepers can do. All right, I'm going to turn the camera around again and show you the items. Cereals are terrific to put into these little pantries. Pancake mixes. Now, what's on this table, as I look at it, I think it's mostly stuff that has been donated to this food bank. Like I said, we purchase a lot of items, but a lot of them are wet items. Like, I get chili beans and kidney beans, and I buy soup and all those kinds of things. But when it comes to the dry food, most of that comes from food donations that people give us, which sadly is not a lot. I'm working on that. But pancake mix, oatmeal packets are wonderful to put into a dry winter pantry. Potato chips work, animal crackers, and this isn't all stuff that, makes a meal, and it certainly is not all nutritious, but I think that people take it. Let's just say that. Everything I put into the little pantry, people take. Crackers are good for a dry winter pantry, more crackers. Nuts, I think, are good for a little pantry. These happen to be walnuts, and these were donated. So whenever we get nuts, I kind of save them for the winter. Someone donated, they're marshmallow. See, I'm not going to put those out. I'll let a different volunteer put those out. But otherwise, hot chocolate would be good. I found some dry mixes that might help someone out. Banana bread mix, corn muffin mix. This one is clean. I looked at the ingredients. Not all corn muffin mix is clean. Someone donated some teas, some pudding, some Crystal Light. Now, lentils are terrific, I think, for a winter pantry. However, let's talk about people don't take bags of lentils. We have very few clients who want the lentils. When I put lentils in the little pantry, they just stay there. So I'll put them out there today, but chances are they're not going to be gone. I have a whole pile of them back there behind me. One of my volunteers, however, had a really great idea. Here's an idea for you. She takes these lentils and she takes just a few of them, puts them into a Ziploc bag with, I think, taco mix and some like taco seasoning and something else. All dry ingredients in a little kit. And she puts it also in that bag, a little piece of paper with a recipe to make like a lentil taco stew or something, which is such a great idea. So I encourage you to look up how to do that. I'm sure it's on Pinterest or something. Because then people take those. When she does that, when she makes those lentils into a little recipe kit, people take it. Oh, another kit there's some other ladies that are wonderful. They drop off laundry kits and cleaning kits. And I don't know exactly what's in them, but I sometimes see Ziploc bags with like a Tide Pod in it, or, 3 of them or something, enough laundry to get them through a week or something, because we don't do a lot of that here either. So great ideas. Go to Pinterest and look for more ideas of things that can go into a little pantry outside. And yeah, we always put ramen in. Again, it's just hard to find stuff in the winter. Macaroni and cheese is a favorite. Noodles, just all kinds of noodles. Egg noodles, spaghetti noodles, macaroni noodles. Sometimes we have different seasonings that have been donated. Cake mix. Everyone likes a treat. Everyone likes a treat. And I just imagine a mom going to see what's there and being thrilled to see that she can make her kids a cake because someone put a cake mix into a little pantry. Mashed potatoes, dry side dishes. There's lots of these at places like Aldi and stuff. This one happens to be couscous. Rice sides, stuffing mix is dry, cheesy rice, tuna cheesy pasta. Again, I like to pair that with a can of tuna, but I can't do the tuna right now, but hopefully this helps them to afford a can of tuna. Rice, of course, works. Sometimes people donate dry milk. Why not, right? Nor sides work. And then sometimes, especially on Fridays, I will put in a couple bars of soap and even menstrual products and maybe a couple rolls of toilet paper. If people are having a real hard time, those kinds of things can really help them out. And I tell you what, the menstrual products go very quickly. People, the ladies are very good at menstrual products. So don't forget the toiletries sometimes too. So, all right, I hope that gives you folks some ideas of things that you can do on your prep day. And if there's one in your town, you might still have time before Shabbat to go, there's always a Dollar General. Go to your Dollar General and get some stuff to fill the little pantry in your town. Oh, and I just wanted to add, it's because I'm looking at the clock, we're very nearing sundown Shabbat. Don't subscribe to the magazine on Shabbat. If you want to support me so that I can keep running this little pantry, the whole food bank really, get the magazine on Sunday. Just make yourself a note. All right. Thank you, sisters. I will see you next week. Bye. I have one more thing. I think loaves of bread are okay as well. Maybe even like a sweet bread, like a cinnamon roll bread or something might be a nice treat for a family on Sabbath. Even though people don't know it's Sabbath, it's still Sabbath. And if we can give them a treat for their children by putting something lovely in a little pantry on Friday, we're just giving them a little taste of a little special Sabbath. All right, bye. All right, and that's the finished product. Sorry, I keep coming back. I'm not good at making these kinds of videos. Also, someone had put about 3 diapers in there, which I thought was very thoughtful. And I also thought another dry food that would be good are those dry soup mixes. They're pricey. They come in a bag at Meijer, Walmart, places like that. They come in chili and different varieties, but they're dry. And then the client just has to add water. And those are huge. They usually make a lot of soup. So those are great options as well. So this is what I like the little pantry to look like. And yes, it is extremely sloppy and unorganized, but I have found that people kind of make a mess of it anyway, because they have to go through it. There's stuff in the back that they can't see, so they have to go through it anyway. So it ends up a mess. So, all the soft stuff is on top. And they can get around. There are some people sometimes leave plastic sacks in there too to make it easier. And I've seen people bring, a wagon or their own bags. A lot of people will walk down here as well. So there you go. That is this part, at least, of my prep day routine is done. I'm going to go to the post office now. A lot of magazine orders lately. And thank you for all of those. Have a great Shabbat, everybody. Bye.